Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show tonight. It's been a while, hasn't it? So, tonight I'm going to talk about credentials. My camera kind of makes me think I'm a little off, but um, credentials. Do you have them? What are they? And my readers are purple. Well, let's see. Well, credentials. We all got credentials, no matter what it is. Um, it's basically a qualification or an achievement, personal quality thing, has to do with your background. You know, the basic tip, thing is basically when you're suitable for something, you got to have credentials. And it's almost like a resume, if you will. You put your skills on your resume. And some of the examples of credentials are um, diplomas, degrees, certifications, security clearance, passwords, identification documents, stuff like that. Um, so so you got barbecue sauce on and you turned them off. Mine will be done at 7:30, and then at which time I'll put barbecue sauce on one rack and one rack without, because the youngest doesn't like barbecue sauce. So, but I put on a good rub for him. So that's credentials. You know, you know. So, do you have them? Just told you what they are. So, do you have credentials? And why do I pick this topic tonight? Because I have noticed that in the motorcycle world, if you will, that that's interesting. Anyways, that people tend to question you when you bring up something or go against the narrative. You know, like, do you ride? Do you ride in a club? Are you in a club? If you answer no to any of these questions, then you have no skin in the game. Well, again, when it comes to club politics and you're not in a club, you have no skin in the game whatsoever. Hey, Ray, how's it going? You should be getting your stickers soon. I sent them out when I got back from vacation, so sorry about the long wait for you. Um, so, but that's what I've noticed. Every time you bring up something against their narrative, it's always, do you ride? Well, yeah, I ride. Are you in a club? No, I'm not in a club. Well, then you got no skin in the game. What's, I was like, well, wait, hold it. I have skin in the game. I ride. I ride with an organization. I mean, I'm not in a club, but I ride with an organization. So therefore, I do have some skin in this game. You know, um, that happened to me just earlier this week, where I was questioned about me riding and being in a club. No, I'm not in a club. I don't. I'm 53 years old. Why would I want to be in a club? Um, I don't want to go prospecting at my age and for like a year, 2 years, however long it's going to take to get into a club. No, I'm an organization, and so therefore I do my credentials with that are, yeah, I know club politics. I know this and that. I'll call a spade when I see a spade, and that's not a racial remark either. So just because you're not in a club doesn't mean you don't have the credentials to comment on anything. You just don't have the credentials to comment about club politics. You know, there you go. You got credentials, girl. Hey, most hated grower, how are you doing tonight? And for the ribs, actually, you want to put that barbecue sauce on about 5, maybe 10 minutes after they're done cooking, just to caramelize it just a little bit. Um, Half hour, I think, I've found is just a little too much, a little too long. But everyone's got their own tastes. So if it's good for you, it's good. So yeah, like I said, I ran into that earlier this week on somebody else's channel that I made a comment on about motorcycles and gangs, so to speak. If it looks like a gang, walks like a gang, acts like a gang, talks like a gang, and does gang stuff, guess what? It's a gang. And believe it or not, most of these motorcycle clubs, or I should say, all motorcycle clubs, are a gang. What's the definition of a gang? 3 or more people. Now, all clubs, all organizations fall into that category of a gang, so to speak. Most motorcycle clubs will fall into that. If you want to take out the violence and stuff, most motorcycles will fall into being called a gang because why? They do gang stuff. They do gang stupidity. You don't want to be called a gang? Quit doing gang stuff. Enough said on that. You're good. New Mexico, well, welcome. Definitely. It's a pretty warm one down there. Um, we're at 90 right now, and I'm up in Minnesota. Um, we're enjoying it. I forgot to put my sunscreen on today when I went to a dog adoption event when I took our foster dog there. Um, so you do know how to cook. Sometimes I question that. Sometimes I do. um, so after I made that comment about if it looks like a gang, acts like a gang, it's a gang. Someone questioned me, do you ride? Do you ride for a club? If you answer no to both or any of those two questions, you have no skin in the game. Well, let's see. My reply was yes, I do ride. No, I'm not in a gang. But since I've been around since these clubs since I was a baby, so I'm pretty sure I do have skin in this club stuff, just not the politics. I don't have say or knowledge of the politics. I really don't want to. Organizational politics, yes, I do. Yeah, but just clubs in general, I have skin in that game like you wouldn't believe, and I don't need to back up my credentials on that or my history. Says it for itself. You know, one of my earlier shows that I did, this channel's been going, well, this channel hasn't been going on for a year, but my main page, Rob Benjamin Shadow, has been going on for over a year. And in there, in my video titled Me, I state that since a baby, I've been around clubs, 2 clubs in particular, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is I have the credentials, I have the knowledge. Club politics suck. That's one reason why I don't want to be in a club. But if you notice, every time you question something, it's always, do you ride? Are you in a club? Really? You don't have to ride or be in a club to figure out to have credentials in the motorcycle world. You can work on motorcycles and not own one and not ride one. All that does is give you credentials to work on motorcycles, so to speak. So I ask, do you have credentials? Do you got what it takes? Do you have the knowledge of the motorcycle world? A lot of us do. I just got a notification, guys, about recent happenings in New Mexico, so to speak. And it just broke on Black Dragons. The Red River Valley is no more. Thank you, Water. Where's it? Water Dogs? Yeah, Water Dogs and Bandinos. Thank you very much, because you just ruined it for everybody down there and killed a lot of business and hurt a lot of people. So, Ray, I know you got credentials. You ride. If I remember right, you've been in a club. You got credentials. Gloria, you got credentials. Most hated grower, you got credentials for what you do. I got credentials. I ride. I got credentials for organizations, motorcycle organizations. Like I said, I don't want club politics. So the inner workings of a club, I don't have those type of credentials. But if you think about it, being in an organization does give me that kind of credentials, because it kind of runs and operates like a club. You just don't have the bullshit, so to speak. Most organizations have a director or a president, same as a regular club. But we don't always have to wear a patch. And it's a patch, not colors. And vests, that's what we call them, not a cut. I call them colors. I call them cuts. So do a lot of people in my organization. Why? Because we've been around clubs our whole lives. That's what we call them. That's what we're used to. So, but the inner workings of an organization is like a club. So technically, yes, I do have credentials for that. So if someone questions why do you ask about their background or anything like that, just because they question something that you said or something? You know what I mean? I did this once to a person from another Discord server who was very knowledgeable about things but didn't ride. And I called her up one day and we talked, and I came right out and said, would you mind me asking about your background? You're very knowledgeable about motorcycle stuff, but you don't ride. would you mind letting me know? And she told me she unloaded every little thing that she did since she was a baby and had an accident and she couldn't ride. She just couldn't ride no more. And she rode with her dad, this, that. So she very much had knowledge. She has skin in the game, so to speak, you know. So I really shouldn't have questioned her, but I did. And it just floored me how much she knew, how much she knows. So when someone questions something that is not with the narrative, like don't call motorcycle clubs gangs, and you call them a gang because they're doing gang stuff, don't question that person because you just never know what their background is. You know, um, like I said, if it looks like a gang, walks like a gang, acts like a gang, it's a gang. You know, most clubs I know don't do violence. They don't go shooting people or beating people up or intimidating others to join their club or to be a support club, you know, or to take something off because it isn't appropriate or this, that. No, 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 no. Clubs don't do that, in my book, in my opinion. Clubs educate. They go out and, well, independents ride more than what people in clubs do. Now, I know that's not entirely true, but quite a few clubs just sit around the clubhouse and don't ride that very much. I know that firsthand from some in North Carolina. Quite a few clubs down there don't ride; they just sit and their clubhouse, and they may go to bike nights. They might not. They may ride 10 miles in 2 weeks. You know, whereas I ride 70, 80 miles in a day, just going to and from work. So, yeah, independents ride more. I declare myself an independent because I'm in an organization. Um, we're not bound by club rules or club manners, if you will. I don't need to have a patch if I don't want one. I don't need to wear my patch if I don't want to when I ride. Anything like that. I'm not bound by all that. Whereas clubs, when you ride, you wear your patch, stuff like that. So credentials, you know, we all have them. You have them. Don't be so quick to question someone when they go against your narrative. You know, um, speak out against you. Talk to them a bit. Question them a little bit. Find out, you know, just by simple little questions, you're going to find out if they ride, if they're in a club, you know, basically. And throwing a 1% in front of your name is in your name does not give you, to me, does not give you the proper credentials. You're just doing that to get people to notice you and, subscribe to your page. I am not a 1%er. I am far from a 1%er. Maybe not that far, but I'm not one. I have no desire to be one, but I can be one if I have to, if I'm pushed. You know, I'm a pretty peaceful guy. I don't like violence. I don't like to fight. I try to avoid it if I can. So, but I believe that's the show tonight. Credentials. Do you have them? If so, there's really nobody's business other than your own, right? So take care, everyone. Remember, your credentials are yours. They're nobody else's. Tell them to fuck off. Have a good night. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, bugs off your bumper, and smile at someone to help make their day. Thank y'all very much for watching. Have a good night.